All right, we're back. So, yes, the ancestors wanted me to speak on healing the bloodlines and how that frees the ancestors because us healing, right, has a ripple effect to the ancestors that came before us, right, the ancestor before us, and then the generations to come. So, because there's good and bad out of everything, there were ancestors that were in the light, and there were ancestors that were in the darkness. And because of the programming of religion, of race, of um, politics, society, expectations of how people should be, specifically women, right? Um, they didn't have the tools that we have today. They didn't have the resources that we have today. They didn't have the knowledge that we have today. They didn't have the courage that we have today. And so, just like when I speak of goddess within, and all we need to do is heal and not pass judgment, balance our light and darkness, take care of our vessel, meditate and pray, and then we will be able to find God within us and hear God within us, right? So the same thing with the ancestors, those that came before us to lead the path for us, those who also make sacrifices so that some of us could be in a position to free them later on, right? So I'm a generational curse breaker. And so um, one of the things that I did as I healed my bloodline, which meant me going against all the diabolical things that they were doing, right? And not participating in it and standing up for myself, even if it did take me 35 years to say, hey, no, I don't do pedophiles. I don't do that. That's not what we do here. That's not what we're going to continue to do. We're not going to continue to um, hide in the shadows and pretend like everything's okay when we know what everybody was doing, right? We're not going to continue to make excuses for this poor behavior. No, I'm not going to hold on to resentment. No, I'm not going to hold on to unforgiveness. I forgive you. Now, do I want to deal with you again? No, I don't, and I don't have to. Uh the self-love, right? That was another one. Before, our ancestors didn't have the resources that we have today to be able to move and start over or remove themselves from toxic situations. They had to stay in those marriages. They had to stay with that family. They had to stay quiet. Why? Because they didn't have any resources or they didn't know any better. But today, we have so many resources and we do know better, right? We can choose to do something different with ourselves, with our lives. And when we do that, we break generational curses. Like, for example, the one of self love. Self love means removing yourself from people, places, and things that no longer serve you, that, no matter who that is. And because of titles, because of programming, before, the ancestors were not able to do that. They had to stay with their mother who was toxic and abused them. They had to stay with the father that molested them or the uncle that molested them because they had no other options. But today, we have options, we have resources. And so when we choose to remove ourselves from that and start over and do something new and have courage to do it on our own, right? Whether the people that are supposed to be there for us agree with us or not, what that does is that those ancestors that passed away and that were hurt by those people that continuously hurt them and hurt us, even when in a different vessel, right? Later on, because that uncle that molested you wasn't just that one uncle. Like, that uncle molested somebody else, and then somebody molested that uncle. It was a ripple effect, right? But then when it got to you, you said, hey, there will be no more of that here. We don't do that here, and I'm gonna talk about it, okay? Because this is gonna end with me. So what that did now was that those ancestors that uh passed away with that hurt, with that feeling, who had anger, who went ahead and went into darker realms because of that pain, because of that unforgiveness, whether they wanted to or not. Now you're freed. Thank you. Right? I speak about like Moses leading the people out of Egypt, and how they wanted to go back to Egypt to be slaved because they couldn't understand what was happening because of whatever. I'm not really like I'm still like I'm in the process of learning the Bible and all that stuff, but you get what I'm saying, right? That's the same thing that happens to us when we're healing, when we're choosing to go the opposite way, and we're not condoning the negative behaviors. No, we're not like putting the abuser on a pedestal just because we want society to accept us, right? So we're not going to talk about it because what are people going to think? Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care what people think. Don't nobody care. That's not what we're doing. Don't nobody care. Let me go back. Right? So our ancestors, those ancestors that were injured by that trauma that you also face, are now free from it. And then what happens now is that they're able to ascend. So the same way that we are ascending here in the earthly realm, and we're here, and we're healing, and we're forgiving it all, and we're having our awakening. As we have our awakening, we're able to tap into our spiritual gifts, right? And we're able to ascend into higher levels, right? The same thing with the ancestors. If they were stuck in a darker realm, and we're being we're practicing evil stuff, whether they want to or not, they're free. And usually most of them, what they want is to be free, because they've been stuck in those darker realms for so long that they've been waiting for you to heal. They've been waiting for you to free them, right? And so nobody speaks about this, so they wanted me to talk about it and say, hey, we are here waiting to be freed. For those of you who have not done the work yet, or who are in the process of doing the work, we are grateful. We are thankful. We want to let you know that what you're doing matters, that you're doing something that we didn't have the courage to do, that we weren't strong enough to do it, that we, because of the programming, because of religion, because of race, because we didn't have the resources, we were not able to overcome. But you guys can. You guys are overcomer. You guys can. You have the tools. You have the resources. It's not easy, but we're right there with you, and we're supporting you. I have ancestors from light and darkness. They're like, we want to be free. And so there was more to the message, but I get really excited because I remember what they were telling me now. It was healing the bloodline. And the way we heal the bloodline is the same way, through forgiveness, man. Forgiveness, forgiving it all. Forgiving it all, no matter what was done to us. We forgive it all. And then also what they were telling me was that, before, in their time, they would fight back. Like, so for example, I'm under a lot of spiritual warfare. My children are under spiritual warfare. And I'm going to get into that at another time though. But the difference here is that instead of me fighting back with evil, learning how to do the things that they're doing to me, I went ahead and got into my Bible, bro. I was like, where's the Psalms be at? Because my ancestors are guiding me. They're like, you need to read the Psalms. And you need to read Psalms 31, 33, and 35 3 times a day. Type of scenario. Psalms 109. Like, they're guiding me and letting me know what I need to do, which is in the course of God, like aligned with my highest good. Meanwhile, before, our ancestors were not so nice. They're like, oh, you want to fight? Let's do it. So because I've woken up my ancestral bloodline, I don't have to get my hands dirty. I just need to read my Psalms, clean out my energy, take spiritual baths, walk in my purpose. Like, this is my purpose, what I'm doing right now. And then whoever wants these hands, my ancestors got me. I don't have to do any of that. And so that's what, and also there's so many of us right now who are delivering messages like this, that you have options, you have choices. If like I'm not for you, there's somebody else that's basically delivering the same message that will resonate with you. So you have resources, you have tools, and you can do this, you can heal. And by healing, you heal your bloodline.